Welcome back to Worldview. 10 signs the fracking industry faces big trouble. This is the Monday Line, this time on Tuesday. I'm Dennis Campbell. Now, every boom since the start of the Industrial Revolution has been followed by a spectacular bust. No one wants to be left holding the bag when this ride stops. Ask those late to the 1850s California gold rush, the 1990s dot-com bubble, and 20,000s, what do you call them? The 2000s housing bubble. The riches all went to the early players, but everyone else, they went spectacularly bust. The Texas and California oil booms of the 1950s were crushed by cheap OPEC oil. The shale gas boom of the 2010s is being crushed by the rush, then realization, the sheer number of wells needed, natural resources required, and the amount of waste then needing cleanup far outweigh the benefits. So here are my top 10 reasons why the fracking industry is headed for big trouble. Number 1, the money people know time is against this industry. Now, economic headlines just last week showed financial support for dirty fuels is shifting against the industry. Thus, the big rush and now. Goldman Sachs announced it was reevaluating funding for all coal-related investments. One would wonder how long it would be before that bell tolled for expensive and risky shale gas. Number 2, they lie. And we're seeing through the lies. If you watch the commercials, earnest actors say they want to extract shale gas responsibly and safely. But company actions show otherwise. They have deep pockets. They buy the popular television shows with the same disingenuity of fast food purveyors saying they care about our health. Except, of course, the Prime Minister and Chancellor who say this is our future. And both are financially in the business up to their eyeballs, claiming no conflict exists. Number 3, they get restrictive approvals, then do whatever they want. Locked behind well-patrolled gates, they have zero oversight from those giving the permissions. In Balcom, they're destroying roads and fouling the water with zero accountability. Number 4, they alter the English language to suit them. I call it weasel wording. They find simple phrases and memes that work on low-information voters. They repeat them over and over and over again. Their corporate media pals pick up the meme and bingo, it has legs. Well, that nice newsman on the telly said it was so. No science, no facts, just phrases like, it's a transitionary fuel. That, of course, justifies their abandoning any commitment to solar and wind, despite growth and reduced costs there. The costs of solar and wind are too exorbitant. So we can instead spend millions on dirty high-carbon fuels and have a ridiculous number of senior government ministers and MPs investing and sitting on the boards? We have a decades-long supply beneath our feet. Problem is, every estimate has been overstated by a factor of 10 to 100 times. Oh, I love this one. We'll all get cheap energy. How come since we've been extracting and drilling gas in record numbers from record numbers of places does the price continue to rise? Because it's a commodity. The price paid in the UK is the same as in Saudi Arabia. It'll create jobs and boost the economy. Yeah, but only skilled oil and gas drill workers need apply. They'll do very well. The rest of the UK, not so much. Number 5, frackers lie on their planning applications. When they get caught, they withdraw the papers and refile them, erasing anything deemed objectionable. Words expediently disappear from the page, but behind locked and guarded gates, they do whatever they want. It's a giant game of whack-a-mole. They have the unlimited resources and keep coming back. Number 6, the industry buys their own science. What professor would not want private industry to throw £500,000 worth of research at them? Of course, the price is then science has to say what the industry wants it to say. Well, one exception is the distinguished Cornell University professor Dr. Anthony Ingrafea. He showed that 6.5% of all well casings fail immediately, leading to methane migration in the water supply. 60% of them fail over 20 years, and they all fail over time. He asked the question, why doesn't the industry fix this? Because it can't. Number 7, they buy up all the lawyers. Now, this one is pure genius. When they move to town, they hire every lawyer they can to draft a small, simple contract. Why? Because when those who are harmed by the frackers need legal help, all the legal and scientific experts are magically on the frackers' side. They're conflicted out of representing anyone who could do them harm in court. 8. They create numerous shell companies. It's a classic game of three-card Monte. The frackers start one limited liability company after another for each well project they drill. The shell companies allow the parent to shield itself from legal liability. So if one well has an accident, it doesn't take down the entire company, just the no-asset shell created for this purpose and for whom there's no real financial risk. Number 9, they game the regulatory system. So even when they're fined £1 billion, well, they make that amount of money in 3 days' time. The system is set up so there's no real penalty or harm done to them for their errors. Bottom line, there's so much money, they don't care. Number 10, they get their Westminster pals to change the laws and rules. They have friends in high places to push through laws that make it easier for them to do whatever they want to do quickly. You say your well is held up by local planning permission? No problem. We'll just remove them from the mix, saying anything to do with oil and gas exploration can only be handled and regulated by the National Environment Agency. Genius, I tell you. Genius. And while the industry has incredibly deep pockets, friends in government, it buys scientists, governments, lawyers, and it has a complicit corporate media, the recent public outcry in Balcombe and cities across the United Kingdom, coupled with activists across the USA and Australia, show that people's voice is demanding to be heard. And it will be. That fracking financial bell will toll and shut them down, but only if we wake up and make even more noise about this shell game and worry for our children's and our grandkids' future. We'll be right back.